Hello guys, we are continuing with our tutorials. Welcome back. I'm Richard. Remember to like, to share, to subscribe, and to comment back. This is the department of the ICT, that is Introduction to Information Communication Technology, to those who are doing a diploma in ICT. So this is the module 1, and module 1 will begin with the introduction to ICT. So on the last tutorials, we checked on the input devices and we check on the keyboard. So the second input device I'm going to look at is the mouse, the trackballs and the computer terminals. You're going to check it on yourself. I'm just checking on those which are most important and those which are most likely asked in the next exam question. So we are going to look at the mouse. A mouse is a small device used to point to and select items on your computer screen. So the moment you're using the computer hardware, that is the keyboard, or this peripheral device like the mouse, by use of keyboard, because some mouse are either wireless and some are you have to use wires. You have to use cables to connect to your computer. So when you connect them to your PC or a laptop or a desktop, there is a pointer that is used to select items on your screen. So that's the work of the mouse. So we are going to look at it. Normally has two buttons. That's the left button and the right button. The left button is called the primary button, and the right button is called the secondary button. So left and right. Yeah, we together. So the most mouse has a wheel between the two buttons, which allow you to scroll smoothly through the screen information. So there is a ball, that's a wheel on the in between the two buttons to the majority of the most part of the mouse. So this is the part, as you can see from here, we have number 1, this is the primary, number 2, this is the secondary button, and we have the ball here. This is the scroll wheel that help you to scroll allowed an item on the screen. So this is how mouse appears. So you can see there is a cable, this the what we call the peripheral devices, and this is the input device. So we are going to look at the pointing, clicking and dragging on the mouse. When you see you are pointing, it means you are moving your mouse so as the pointer to appear to be touching the item. So you move your mouse in a way that when you move the mouse, the pointer that appear to be like this on the screen appear to be touching the item. For example, maybe this is the item on the screen, maybe a dustbin or like that. So the pointer appears to be touching there. That is pointing. That is the pointing. So we have that is pointing. Look at my screen. For example, if it's a recycle bin, you see there is a recycle bin. This is the this is the pointer. So the item appear to be touching the pointer appear to be touching the item. That's the case. So that is pointing. So what is clicking now? Clicking, we may talk of clicking. Move the pointer to the item on the screen and press and release on the primary button. So we saw the primary button is the left button. So if you want to click on the item, just press and release on the primary button, left button. Move to the point, move a pointer toward the item, then press and release. That is clicking. So you click on the item. When you click on it, it may either open and you view what you are opening. So but there is double clicking. You may click and there is double clicking. Point to the item on the screen and then click twice quickly. On which button? On the left button, twice quickly. You double click it. It's used to open items on the desktop. So if you want to open an item on the desktop, you double click it. Move the pointer to the item, then double click it. It will open the item. So we have right clicking. When you right click, point to the item on the screen and then press and release the secondary button, that is the right button. It is used to display list of things you can do with that item. For example, if you click on an item, maybe on a dustbin on a screen or a recycle bin, when you press on it, when you press and release the right button, it shows the list of things you can do with that item, i.e. maybe the properties, the list of things you can do. So it provides the list, maybe the properties. For example, it do provide what? Let me see, maybe you press on the list. Yeah, it will show you either you can either open. 2, you can either empty the recycle bin. For example, I'm talking of the recycle bin, you can empty it. That is the list of things you can do. You can pin to start, or you can rename it, so that or you can check out the properties of that item. So that's what it will the list of things you can do with that item when you right click, that is when you press on the secondary button. So, and that is the point when we come to the clicking. So dragging, what do you mean by dragging? You can move item around your screen by dragging them. So on dragging, point to the object on the screen, press and hold the primary button, move the object to a new location, and then release the primary button. That's what we mean by dragging. You press on you move the pointer to the object, then press and hold the left button, that's the primary button, move the object. So you press and hold, not just press and release. Remember, on the clicking we press and release, but on this you press and hold, then move the object around the screen. That's what we mean by dragging. We have different type of mouse. We have optomechanical type. On this type of mouse, it contains a roller that make contact with 2 rollers, one of the x-axis and the other one of the y-axis. The second mouse type of mouse is optic mouse. In this, there is no mouse ball. Instead, they use a special mouse pad and beam of laser light. So if you are taught to define 2 types of mouse, you have optomechanical type and optic mouse. The difference is this contains a loud ball, this has no ball, but they contain special mouse pad and beam of laser light. A laser light, I think, is those which are wireless. You use the beam of laser light, you control without using peripheral devices to connect it to the computer. So thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe for the next tutorial. So I think on the next tutorial we are going to look at, these are the input devices. We are going to look at the processing device, because when you input, you have to process. After processing, you have to produce information. After information, you have to store information. After the information stored, it has to be produced, and then you look at the output, the information that you get, because when you input, these are data, they get processed, they get stored, but they produce information. The information you see, like now the example of the information you can see, it's already processed, so you can use the output devices. So next tutorial we are going to look at the processing devices, beginning with the central processing unit, that is the system unit. Bye.